Start fighting alcoholism today. My name is Chris. This is the WrektLess podcast, episode number 21, and we're going to talk a little bit today about fighting our alcoholism. So it's up to us. We personally, all alcoholics, have to come to a place of acceptance with what is going on with us and to work on combating it moving forward. It's an everyday thing, and you have to be careful with this because it can be dangerous to quit drinking. You can't just, depending on the severity of how much you do drink, you should really consult a doctor, and they can guide you along the best path. But some base ways to go about it are like a 10% rule. Start reducing by 10%. If you have 6 beers a night, have 5. Something like that. I know that's more than a 10% drop, but you have to start somewhere. Also, you could try substituting like a non-alcoholic beverage in to the mix. Have one like near beer, or make sure you're matching your beer with water or something, just to start reducing your alcohol intake. Filling your stomach with water can help you consume a little bit less, I guess. It's got to start somewhere. You're going to need that water as well. You already do. You're probably already dehydrated if you have been drinking a lot. Alcoholism, it's unique to each individual, and we each need to work through the process on our own. I am almost 18 months sober here, so as the time of recording this, I'm 3 days away, but this will, after editing and going through everything, this will get posted, and we'll post it on my 18-month sobriety anniversary. Alcohol-free now for a year and a half, and it's been pretty exquisite. The further you go, the better you feel. The clearer, the cleaner, just in general, you overall feeling of just better wellness within your life. It's something that anyone can achieve. I believe anyone can quit drinking. I believe everyone has the power and tools within themselves to heal themselves. You don't have to rely on any deities, authorities, or any other figures to make you do it or to bring you to it. You have to bring yourself to moving forward. It has to be something that you want to do and that you're ready to do. Not everyone's always ready. It took me a few attempts to quit drinking, to be honest with you. I've drank for over 20 years. Holy shit. Yeah, over 20 years. Started drinking as a teenager, and now I am in my 40s, and I quit at about 40. Just after 40. So before I turned 41, between 40 and 41 is when I quit drinking. And it ranged in severity throughout time. There's times when it was heavy, there's times when it was lighter, but it was always something. It was never like I went long without a drink, a couple days maybe at most. What's the longest you've ever gone without a alcoholic beverage? You ever made it a year? For those of you that have been drinking, when's the last time you haven't drank that much? Well, take a break. If you're a light drinker, just take a break. See how long you can go. If you only drink on the weekends, maybe skip a weekend. Start skipping them. See how you feel. Have non-alcoholic beverages when you're out with your friends. There's a lot more options out there. And with the culture growing around non-alcohol beverage consumption and not consuming alcohol the way that we have in this culture for so long, there's a lot of options now available for people to still feel like they can groove within those circles while not doing the damage and harm to their body, to their emotional status, to everything in general. For me, it took me a little bit. I didn't want to even try any non-alcoholic beverages. I figured they'd all be garbage, and it took me a while to come to it. It was about like... it was over like 6 months. Once I was 6 months out, I felt a little more comfortable with the idea, but then I didn't even start trying any until about 9 months into alcohol free is when I felt comfortable with being able to try non-alcoholic beverages. And they helped me because, there's times when you have rough days and you just think about drinking, and, fighting alcoholism is an everyday thing. It's something that you're always going to deal with. It's never going to go away. It's going to be a daily occurrence, something literally. And the only way to start is to just start today. No better time like present. You can say tomorrow, but make it today. And it doesn't have to be any drastic changes. You don't even have to stop drinking today. You don't even have to reduce your drinking today, but starting to think about it starting to make that commitment to yourself, to those around you, to your health, to just not consume like that, to not just ingest poison on a daily basis. Therapy helps. I went through therapy. Some people could use some SSRIs to help. It's a very serious thing. I suggest checking out some videos on YouTube or doing some of your own research on what mentally and physically the reduction of alcohol intake can do to you, and over time how those things change, and how you can adapt and cope with it, and depending on your severity of alcoholism, how to go about it. Because you don't want to, if you're a severe alcoholic, quitting can be very dangerous and can lead to death, just stopping instantly. So you need to wean yourself down and off like you would any pharmaceutical medication. So it's a drug, and you need to, if you're a heavy user, you need to slowly reduce your intake, just like any other drug. Something that you can't just flip a switch overnight. For those light drinkers, yeah, sure you can. I was able to stop. When I stopped drinking, it was a stop because I had already started reducing, and it had been like probably about a year and a half long process. Really, it's probably been about 3 years I've been trying to even get to this 18 months point. It's not easy. So we can be honest with ourselves about that. It's a daily process, a daily fight, and some days are going to be harder than others, but you have to make that commitment to yourself every day to at least consider the idea that you can stop. I know you can. Everyone around you knows you can, and sometimes we have to deal with our mental health issues to be able to get there. With that being said, and me believing in people fighting their alcoholism, for those who love beer still and alcoholic beverages, and it's not just about getting drunk, because it wasn't always that. I actually enjoy the flavors, trying all these different things, and we like craft food, so why not craft beverages, right? So people are still doing that, and I've been a big fan of BrewDog so far. And today I'm going to go over Street Dog, which is a collaboration between GG's and BrewDog, and it's a near beer, so a non-alcoholic beer, less than 0.5%. And let's see what they say about it. So, GG's is a nonprofit regional care campus that provides 6,000 plus homeless dogs in rural shelters each year with access to high quality shelter, veterinary, behavior, and adoption services, all to get them into a permanent home. So that is pretty awesome. The can is pretty cool. It says it's a hazy brew, so we'll see what that means. But Street Dog, I know I got the green screen up, so all the green, the can is like a lime, not lime green, but more of a tealish color, but that disappears here. You can kind of see it. Street Dog, it's got little cute pups and stuff and on it, so we will give them a look up online, right? So that we can see exactly what they're about. But it is ggs.org. I just want to make sure to point you in the right direction. So ggs.org is the partnership that it is with. Wow, that's crazy. Pretty cool. So GG's is who they partner with on this one, and they do a lot of more social awareness types of programs with their beer. So not only can you get away from alcohol, but you can also help support good causes. All of these, they give money from these different brews towards the organizations and stuff, and it's really cool, the different BrewDog partnerships. But a hazy brew, so I'm a little bit excited here because I like them thick and hazy. I always do the glass here on a first tasting. I kind of want to see what it looks like. It does say hazy, so it wouldn't hurt to take a look. And we got decent carbonation. We're getting a little head, and man, that is hazy. Take a look there. So yeah, nice and hazy, nice golden color, a golden haze, I would say. Going hop forward aroma. Yeah, very hoppy. So yeah, it's a nice, refreshing, good carbonation level. not overly carbonated like some that I've had. Man, it's a nice midday sipping fake beer, so, and also with near beers and stuff, you can just be more comfortable and, like you can go out, have a near beer and drive home and you're not intoxicated. That is the most important thing, is like removing the intoxication. Whatever it is that is driving us to strive for that, it's working away from it and trying. Man, that is a nice, and there is a great bitter after hop taste to that after it settles for a moment. Nice hoppy aroma that is matching the body. But nice, bubbly, great carbonation going back. You get like a... Not sure that I saw exactly what hops they used in this one, but get a mild... Oh yeah, it's nice. That is a good bittery one. So like... They don't like test IBUs in these or anything, because all that shit has to do with alcoholic beverages, but it's a mix of 5 hops in here, and you can kind of go through the range and party of it, which is really cool. So you really do get a range of hops through there. I feel like it takes you through a little, like a hint of some citrusy in there. Like a hint of citrus I'm catching. Like a hint of the pine. It's like the nice mix to make it nice and hazy and hoppy, and that is a good one. So for me, I still like to enjoy these beverages from time to time, even after a hard day of work, because it's this psychological, just sitting down. It's like enjoying a cup of tea. And that's the way that we need to look at it. You don't have to consume alcohol to unwind. That is a misnomer. That is something that is just being taught to generations, and it's not true. People can sit back, enjoy, unwind, and relax. Sans alcohol. Without it, you can do it. I know you can. Remember, small reductions based on the amount you drink. Be careful if you're trying to quit. But I encourage everyone to quit drinking alcohol. It's rarer right now to talk to people who don't drink than people who do. So, yeah, no, at least in my world and the people I'm always around, I always hear about alcohol, especially in service industries. And if you can get outside of alcohol consumption and that, you're ahead of a lot of people. Not that you want to be ahead of anyone, you want to bring them with you. That's part of the reason I do this, because I want others to find the power within themselves to stop abusing alcohol and start facing our issues and problems. And I have to say thanks with BrewDog. I buy these. These are not given to me. I order online, non-promoted content here, so this is all just me just trying these. And for those who feel like they still need a beer, have a non-alcoholic one. And once you get more away from alcohol, you'll start seeing how they taste great. Like they're some great craft productions. I like hops. Obviously, you're going to have to like hops to like some of them, but their sours are everything. If you check out BrewDog, they got it all. It's really good. But I suggest everyone takes a step back from alcohol and works on doing it safely. So that's the most important thing, is being safe, taking care of yourself. But, maybe it's time. Maybe you're thinking about it. Maybe you clicked on this because you were thinking about, how do I even stop drinking? I don't even know. For me, it didn't make sense. I couldn't see it until I saw it, until I started to believe it and started to think it. And I worked for years on quitting alcohol. It's not something that's always that easy for everyone. And part of it for me was addressing my mental health issues and going after those as well. And it's a combination effort. It's not something that it's not, if I stop mental health therapy, I'm not just going to start drinking. It's something I had to get to where I had to turn myself off of alcohol and be like, I actually really like the non-alcohol brews, because I feel like you get a broader range of depth and flavor because you're not just killing taste buds through alcohol and losing the flavor of it and numbing them, right? You're only really tasting the full range of effect on those first few sips of beer before the anesthetic starts to kick in and you lose the flavor. A near beer you can enjoy the full flavor of throughout the entire beverage. And that's something that people probably don't realize is that, your drinks aren't strong after you have a few, right? Yeah, because you're numbing the receptors on your tongue, so that initial strength that you would feel from the alcohol, you're not. That's why you're able to consume more. And, you just got to be careful. So I suggest everyone gives it a try. Stop drinking. Be part of a growing new trend, not for any reason other than for your own health. You could do it for others, you can do it for those around you, but really you've got to start doing it for yourself before you can even do it for others. It starts with you, it starts within. I believe in all of you. You all have the ability to do this. If you want to, I'm going to be doing more like this, more talking about how to work through quitting drinking, and it's a process. For me, it's, I drank since I was 14 till fucking 14 to 40. I was consuming alcohol. In the early years before 21, it wasn't on a daily basis, and after it was. It was more before that, it was when you could get it, and anytime you could get it, and then after that, it became, I can get it all the time, so I can have it all the time. So, just depends on where you're at. Everyone's an individual and has to approach it in their own way. So, we're here for you. I'm here for you. Again, if you took the time to watch or listen to this, I thank you. Mushlovegaming.com is where all this can be found. WrektLess is the name of the podcast because we all want to live a little better and be a little wrecked less, right? It's about leaving behind intoxication and inebriation in order for better fulfillment of the self and self-repair and healing, which we all have capacity to some extent. Yes, we need help, but we also have to start within ourselves. You have to want to quit drinking in order to quit drinking. If someone else wants you to, you have to want to. You have to come to that place yourself, and maybe you're there, and that's why you're here listening to this. And I encourage you to just take the baby steps. Small steps, reduce. One drink less, a week if you drink heavily. If you're a light drinker, go 1 day less. Have a couple beers less from when you would be out. Stop at 3. Don't just drink until you're falling over. Sure, it's fun to be out with friends, but it's also fun to not feel like shit. And what it does to your body, and look at how heavy drinkers end up. Look at complexion, and just, you can tell when people smoke and drink heavily. You can see it. They wear it on their bodies. It physically, it does a lot to us. Mentally, it does a lot to us. And when we remove them, we start to come back to who we are. So thank you for listening to the WrektLess podcast again. My name is Chris. Please follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let's help push ourselves into a more alcohol-free and comfortable place for all of us to be. It's a toxin, it breeds toxicity, and it helps aid in our toxic culture. So let's leave alcohol behind. Once again, thanks for listening.